Premier League lineup will be announced at the end of the World Championship, but it's always fun to try and predict it beforehand. The World Championship can change everything. You know, in the past we've had Callum Ridsgo reach a quarter-final, Gabriel Clements reach a semi-final, which then put them into the conversation. But as things stand, there are 13 names, 13 players who are in the conversation for a place in the Premier League. And I've put them into a traffic light system, as you'll see here. Green, amber and red. Now, the 13 players who are in conversation right now, 3 of them I think are in. They are your green players, Luke Littler, Luke Humphries and Michael van Gerwen. No real surprise there. The 3 players I think are out unless they do something at the World Championship. Johnny Clayton, whose form just has tailed off at the wrong time of the year. Always matters when you have those good performances, doesn't it? Chris Dobie and Bo Greaves. I think unless Bo Greaves reaches a semi or a final, I don't even think that's a conversation, to be perfectly honest. Which leaves us with the players in the middle. We need to select 5 from this shortlist, and that's what I'm going to do today. If there is someone you think I'm missing off this list, or someone you think should be on here, do head down to the comment section and add those in, and also give me your list as well. I'm going to try and predict the 8 players. Now, although the Premier League's all about quite excitement and new faces and new players and new fixtures and experiences, we also need to have those recognisable faces. This is very, very important in the Premier League because the Premier League attracts a very casual audience, certainly with the arenas they go to. And the worst thing is, if you're flicking through the channels and you're a casual darts fan, and you see 2 players that you're not too familiar with, you may not recognise it's the Premier League. So that's something we've got to keep in mind here. So for that reason, the first name on my list, making it through to be player number 4, is Gerwyn Price. Gerwyn Price has had a good season this year, one of the highest earners of the year, always reliable. At one point was the most Google searched for dart player, which does have weight and clout for it as well. He's entertaining, he's fiery, he ticks all the boxes, and we know he can compete at the Premier League level. So for me, Gerwyn Price is number 4 on the list. In next, we're going to move to a debutant. I think we're going to get quite a few changes this year in terms of the Premier League lineup, and I'm going to go with Jan van Veen. The young Dutchman has had an exceptional year. He's been climbing up the rankings, now inside the world's top 10, courtesy of picking up the European Championships. Now, we know winning a major on the TV nowadays is not enough to guarantee selection. We have seen people win certainly the European Championship in the past and not get the Premier League selection. However, Van Veen ticks a lot of boxes. He's beat Luke Humphries twice now on the big stage in the Players' Championship finals and in the World Match Play. He's beaten Luke Littler on the European stage. So when we look at this, we know he can compete at that top level. He's got an incredible game in him, and people want to see where that ceiling potentially is with Van Veen. I think Van Veen's a nailed on this year, provided he doesn't have a disastrous Worlds and other people go have good things and the conversation moves on. I was tempted to put Van Veen in the green, but I'm going to put him in as a selection here. Van Veen selected. This one's an interesting one for me. Stephen Bunting. Now, I think he's in if he's in the top 4, but if he's not in the top 4, I don't think he is. At the moment, Stephen Bunting is due to defend £35,000 at the World Championships. And not only that, but there's a lot of people behind him not really defending anything. There's a genuine chance here if Stephen Bunting doesn't pick his form up, which hasn't been good. Last 5 TV tournaments, 2 first round defeats, 2 second round defeats, and didn't get out his group at the Grand Slam of Darts. So the form's not been great for Stephen Bunting, which means he could drop out the top 4, and then I don't think he's a selection. I think Bunting's only in if he's in the top 4, and behind him they are stacking up to take over at the World Championships. So the World Championships will tell us everything for Bunting, but as things stand, I think he's in, but he could be out. I think he's one that sits on the fence. One that didn't sit on the fence very early in the year, Josh Rock. What a start to the year he had. Sorted out the technical issues that was winning his throw. He's played fantastic at that. That World Match Play semi-final with Luke Littler was an absolute classic, amongst other games. He's had a 9-darter on the big stage. He's won the World Cup of Darts alongside Darryl Gurney. There's a lot to like right now about Josh Rock, his game and where it is. And I think he's ready for the Premier League. I really do. I think he'd add something to it. He's flashy, he's flary, he plays with adrenaline. There's a lot that I really like about the game of Josh Rock. I think he'd be a very welcome addition to the Premier League. And for me, I think as long as he doesn't have a disastrous World Championship, he's another one that will go green just with a couple of wins. He doesn't need to go win the World Championship, he just needs to compete. Which gives us a little bit of a short list in regards to that final position. But for me, position number 8, a man who's hit form recently in the Players' Championship finals. I believe he's going to go have a good World Championship as well. Popular all around the world, even on the European Tour when he's taking on the home nation qualifier. He's one of the most supported players in the game, Nathan Aspinall.
Wait. Hang on. You can't not put Noppet in the Premier League.
She's chiming in. I think she wants to be in the video.
Hello! You've got to have Danny Noppet in, definitely.
So this is the perils of working in the office while I'm trying to make videos. Trying to get the Premier League up and running. So you're going Danny Noppet over Nathan Aspinall, I'm guessing, because you didn't object to any of my other selections.
No. So my selections would be pretty much the same as yours. I'd say your Littler, your MVG, your Aspinall, Humphreys as well. But then I would say.
Just look at your notes that you made.
There's me trying to remember. I've got notes in front of me. But I'd say Noppet over Bunting.
Okay. You see, I've got Bunting dubious. Like I don't. My notes on the whiteboard, by the way, so it's a bit different. Yeah, I've got Bunting, but if he's in the top 4, he's got to be in. So.
Yeah, but then I think back to his run last year and he didn't perform very well. Yes, he might be the people's person, but because you want to see maybe different people, Danny Noppet's not had a bad season, I don't think, especially again towards the end of the year. He's been consistent, he's been going very deep into some major TV events.
So's James Wade though. And earlier in the year when I made this video, I put James Wade in, but for some reason I haven't. I haven't put him in. So.
But is he watchable in the fact that?
I think he's very watchable.
Yeah, but do people want to watch James Wade? I don't know.
I'd love to watch James Wade every week.
I'm against it. I probably wouldn't want to say James Wade in the Premier League.
I would, because his interviews would be cracking.
Yeah, Jan van Veen, I agree with, because he's obviously been a recent title winner as well. He's had great form. He's done really well. And like I say, he's contended with the likes of Luke Littler and Humphrey. So I agree with you there.
So you're Bunting out, Noppet in.
I'm basically Bunting out, Noppet in. Rock, definitely. Price, definitely, because again, Price has come into some great form at the end of the year.
Controversial.
Yeah.
Well, over to you then. There's a couple
think?
of different opinions. Go down to the comment section, have your say. Let us know who you think is going to be in the Premier League, and hopefully I can record the rest of my videos without you chiming in.